It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you so much for making time for us. Welcome to the 2025-2026 season preview for the Betway Premiership, which kicks off on the 9th of August. Saturday, the 9th of August, we've got 12 teams involved on the 9th of August, 6 games, and then on Sunday, the 10th of August is going to be 4 more teams involved in 2 games. So I thought this season, let's start the season with a mini preview. Let's look at the teams that will be playing in the upcoming season, and also what to expect, what kind of competition to expect, and the likes. But before we go there, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. It's Off Air Podcast, and then you subscribe to the channel, or just search for Fans Corner. If you're not already watching this on YouTube, search for Fans Corner on YouTube. You'll find us under Off Air Podcast as one of the podcasts. And also, if you're not following us on our socials, we've only got 2 socials, which is TikTok, it's Fans Corner, and we've also got Facebook, it's also Fans Corner. Make sure you follow us there. That will do us loads of good. Right, let's go straight into the season that is upon us on Saturday, the 9th of August. We are starting with 6 games involving 12 teams, obviously. It's going to be a very interesting one. I just want to talk about each and every one of these teams. So at 3 o'clock, there's about 4 games at the same time. We've got Amazulu against Orbit College, newly promoted Orbit College. We've got Chippa United against the reigning champions, Mamelodi Sundowns. We've got Polokwane City against Magesi FC. We've got Richards Bay against Marumo Gallants. All of these games are taking place at 3 o'clock on Saturday. We've got then later on, Escotini. We've got Orlando Pirates against Kukune United. And we've got Siwelele against Golden Arrows. Very interesting fixtures, these ones. My attention will be more on the Amazulu versus Orbit College. I'd really like to see how Orbit College look like in the PSL. The first time in the PSL. We've seen them before playing the Nedbank Challenge. They are not strangers to South African football. We've seen them before. That's a game I'd really like to see. I was so impressed with Amazulu when I saw them playing against Stellenbosch FC in the MTN 8. Although they were knocked out, I think they played very well, especially in the second half. I did not see the first half, so they could have played nonsense in the first half, but I didn't see the first half. I only saw the second half. I also saw the extra time as well. Amazulu really looking good there. So Orbit College have got their job cut out for them there in their season, in their debut game of the season. Chippa United against Mamelodi Sundowns. No prize for guessing who's the favorite there. I think many of us will be expecting. It's a Chippa United home game. I love these kinds of games where Sundowns or Pirates or Chiefs go out of Gauteng and play somewhere, rather in KZN or in Mpumalanga, Limpopo. Really, I enjoy those kinds of games. And the people out at the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality, actually, or let me just say the Eastern Cape, or that region, that Nelson Mandela Bay region, really support Chippa United when it comes to these A-grade games, or what we can call them, these big games per se. But I think I don't expect to see any surprise there. Having seen Sundowns against Richards Bay on the MTN 8, I think it's pretty much going to be a one-way traffic there. It's going to be Mamelodi Sundowns. I think that's just my opinion on the game. Polokwane versus Magesi. Yeah, it's that Limpopo. It's a Limpopo derby. I'm not sure whether who to pick there. I don't know. But Richards Bay against Marumo Gallants, also a very interesting one. We saw them last season. I think last season they showed us what they're capable of. But I think I'd probably tip more to Richards Bay side here, especially playing at home. Then there's Orlando Pirates against Kukune United. I love Kukune United. I love the way they play Kukune United. They are ball players. There's a lot of ball players in the Kukune United side. So it's going to be an interesting one. Orlando Pirates have signed some serious players. Very good looking. I've seen them in the MTN 8. The signings that they've made, they've got a new coach. I think I did talk about that in the match reaction video that I did after the MTN 8, that I really like the way they look, Orlando Pirates. Even though I'm a Kaizer Chiefs fan, but obviously we love it when we see teams doing well, because it's all in the name of making a very good PSL competition. Then we've got Siwelele, New Kids on the Block, Siwelele against Golden Arrows out at the Dr. Petros Mulimela Stadium at 8 o'clock. That's one game I'm definitely not going to miss. I'll probably try and do a video and a reaction video on this particular game because of the soft spot that I have for the people of Bloemfontein. I know this is different because this is not Bloemfontein Celtic. It's actually a different team, Siwelele, that bought out Super Sports United status. But I know the people of Bloemfontein don't care. They just want to see a Bloemfontein team playing in the PSL, and I know for sure, excuse me, they're definitely going to be supporting this particular team. I think there was a launch, or the chairman was meeting with the supporters. I don't know what the event was, but that just told me when he burst into a song, the chairman of the Siwelele FC, and seeing the crowd at that in that venue erupting in song, it just brought back some serious memories, and I'd really like to see what's going to happen with this Siwelele team. It's going to be an interesting one to see. I know for sure I would really like to go when Chiefs play Siwelele out at in Free State. It's probably going to be the Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein, because I think the Dr. Petros Mulimela Stadium is a little bit too small for a game of that magnitude. But you know, even growing up, I remember I used to really envy people who get to go and watch Bloemfontein Celtic against Kaizer Chiefs in Bloemfontein, because the atmosphere there is amazing. I don't think there's any atmosphere that comes close to that. Put the derby aside. The derby is a special event on its own, but the Bloemfontein Celtic against Kaizer Chiefs games used to be flames in terms of the atmosphere. The football on the day could be of any quality, but in terms of the atmosphere, it's amazing. So I'd really like to see what's going to happen with Siwelele. How are they going to do? The supporters, are they going to come on board? And I'm pretty sure they'll probably pick up that Toyota Stadium when they play Kaizer Chiefs or Pirates or even Mamelodi Sundowns. So these are the 6 games that we'll be playing there. As the first games of this new season. On Sunday we've got TS Galaxy against Durban City, another new team, that newly promoted team, Durban City. Also going to be an interesting one, but it's a TS Galaxy home game, so I don't know. I think I'll put my money on TS Galaxy for this one. Then the Stellenbosch against Kaizer Chiefs. As a Kaizer Chiefs fan, obviously, I know what I want. It's gonna be a tough one. I saw Stellenbosch against Amazulu game. That was a very interesting game. They won it in the extra time. I know Coach Steve Barker wants to make sure that he gets one against Kaizer Chiefs, because Kaizer Chiefs have been really abusing Stellenbosch FC. Some of the games have been controversial, but it's all in the name. It's all part of the game. So going to be an interesting one. This one taking place on Sunday at 5:30. You see, this is what I spoke about in the previous video last week when Sundowns played at the Lucas Muripe Stadium on Sunday evening. I think really, I don't like this kind of fixtures. This one is going to be taking place, according to Flash Score, it's going to be taking place at the Danny Craven Stadium. I don't think that's what I saw on online. I'll have to go and check this one, because Flash Score has it on Danny Craven Stadium. One of my favorite stadiums. These small intimate stadiums are really my favorite. If this is true, then it's going to be a very interesting one, but I don't think this one. I think I saw it saying Athlone Stadium somewhere. I think that's what they said. The game will take place at Athlone Stadium. I stand to be corrected. Those of you who are in the know can tell us in the comments where this game is going to be taking place. Okay, now my phone is taking me somewhere else. Okay, so yeah, I think this is going to be flames. Kaizer Chiefs against Stellenbosch. You know, the thing is with Kaizer Chiefs, having seen them, my biggest worry with Kaizer Chiefs is going forward. Are they going to be able to score the goals? What's going to happen? I don't know there. That's my biggest worry as a Kaizer Chiefs fan, but it's going to be a very interesting game. This is definitely going to be an interesting game. We know Steve Barker does not want to lose against Kaizer Chiefs, although he's been losing, and this would be his time to actually get his revenge. Otherwise, looking at the entire season that is upon us, I think the PSL, if you look at it now, there isn't much competition in terms as to who's going to win the league. I think all of us will probably expect Mamelodi Sundowns to win the league. Yes, I know we all have wishes. There are a lot of people who have wishes that Sundowns don't win the league this time around. They've won it so many times, but I don't think there's any team that can dethrone them for the next probably 3-4 seasons. It's going to be a very tricky. It will take something very special for Sundowns, for any team to come and win the league, to take the league from Mamelodi Sundowns. It will either take something tragic, let me not say tragic, but something very bad to happen in terms of perhaps the Sundowns might lose some crucial players, but they're very good in recruitment. Okay, they'll still find a way to recruit some very, very good players as well. It's either going to take something like that, it will take something very massive to happen in one particular team to go all the way and challenge for the league. Pirates did not even come close last season, and they did their best. And we spoke about this. They did their best because they matched their total number of points that they've ever gotten in a league season. In the other seasons, they've won the league with the same number of points that they got last season, but they could not. So they could go on. So now you need a team to come and break their own record in order to be able to match Mamelodi Sundowns, or to be able to topple or dethrone Mamelodi Sundowns. It's going to be a very difficult one. Or it will take Sundowns to have a very bad season for the competition to be tight at the top there. Otherwise, if things continue the way they've been happening in the past 10 seasons, actually, I don't think anyone will be able to stop Mamelodi Sundowns. I think also at number 2, I think number 1 and number 2 are probably going to be Sundowns and Pirates again. I think the competition in the league will then start at number 3 all the way to the relegation battle. And I think in the relegation battle, that's where we see proper competition as compared to the top of the table. The top of the table usually is settled early enough, but at the bottom we go all the way to the wire there. I think the PSL has become that. It's become the competition of relegation and the competition of staying in the top 8. Even in the top 8, it's about number 2 all the way to number 8. But this season, it's probably going to be number 3 all the way to number 8, because I think Sundowns and Pirates have done good business. They have strong teams. They're probably going to be number 1 and number 2 again. It will take something really, really special to happen for Sundowns not to win the league again this season. Then number 3 on all the way to number 8, that's where our favorite teams will then start coming in. I'm not using emotions here. Oh, what I wish. I'm just basing it on the things that we've seen happening. But we've seen things happening in football. Anything can happen. If the story of Leicester City is anything to go by in England, if anything like that were to happen in South Africa, I would really, really like to see it happening. If some team that we don't expect, like Yosiwelele, come in winning the league, it's not something unthinkable, because we've seen things happening in the world of football. We've seen Santos in 2002, was it 2002 or 2001, winning the league. Where is Santos now? Probably defunct, or they are in the much lower divisions, just like we saw Leicester City in England winning the league, and now they're not even in the Premier League anymore. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. But one of the questions that I'd like to ask, having said what I said with number 1 and number 2, is should we call the South African League a farmers' league now? Because I mean, in the past, we've always spoken about the likes of the Egyptian Premier League as a farmers' league, because we kind of know Al Ahly is going to win the league there. And back then in South Africa, it was not like that. But now, for the past 10 years, Sundowns have been dominating this. Is it now, or has it been a farmers' league already long ago in these 10 years? Or can we certainly declare it a farmers' league now? The thing is, with farmers' leagues, they tend to produce super teams that are very competitive, even continentally. Okay, if you check leagues that are very competitive, they don't really produce super teams that can go and compete continental. Al Ahly have dominated the continent, and they've also dominated in Egypt. I mean, to be honest, the Egyptian Premier League, how many teams do you know other than Al Ahly, Zamalek, and probably Pyramids. Even Pyramids, you've just started knowing about it very recently because of their performance. Otherwise, those are the only teams that we can only think about because it's not very competitive like the likes of the Premier League in Europe, where any team they even have what they call the top six or the big six, whatever they call it there. But and also which other league? The Moroccan, the Botola Pro in Morocco. I think that one is very competitive. Actually, that one is quite competitive. Recently there's been different winners. Even though in the past we used to know the likes of Raja Casablanca and Wydad as well. But it was mostly Raja Casablanca in the past. So I don't think the Botola can be called that. But I'm asking in terms of the South African League, should we call it a farmers league because of what's happening? Farmers leagues, like I said, they tend to be one team dominating the entire league, winning the league every now and then. They like and then producing a very strong team that can also go and compete in the continent. We've seen that happening. If you look, if I to be honest, look at the likes of the French league. It was won. It's won by the PSG for most of the time in recent years, actually, and they've then produced PSG. Then became this very competitive team in the continent, but in European competitions. But they've only won that Champions League once, which is the current one. Then you look at the likes of the Spanish league. The Spanish league is a very interesting one because no one wants to say it's a farmers league, but honestly speaking, there's only two teams that are winning that league. It's Barcelona and Real Madrid. Yeah, we've seen Diego Simeone with his Atletico, trying to challenge the status quo there. He was successful at some point, but it's still Barcelona and Real Madrid. And there's one team that the super team that comes out of that league is Real Madrid, having dominated the UEFA Champions League. So we're seeing the same. We are seeing the same thing with South Africa, with Sundowns dominating the league and also being very competitive in Africa. But Sundowns is similar to PSG in that they are a strong team continentally, but they are really struggling to win the Champions League. They've only won it once, same way as PSG. But they come from those leagues that are dominating for many seasons. Okay, I'd like to hear your views on this one, and also what do you expect in the 2025-2026 season? We'll do some videos during the season to do some reviews and check what has been happening in the past in games, on top of the post-match reaction videos that we do not every game, in some special games that we look at, that we do the post-match reaction video. Remember, we don't do analysis here. I'm not an analyst. I'm just a soccer fan who likes to talk about football. So I do these things called post-reaction. I react to a soccer match that I've just watched. I say what I feel about the game, what I saw, and what I really expected, and the likes. So yeah, we do those. We'll also do other videos, I think, this season. So I'd really like to also hear from you, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's the Off Air Podcasts on YouTube, and then follow us on Facebook at Fence Corner, and also follow us on TikTok. Otherwise, this has been Fence Corner. Thank you so much for your time. We meet again in the next one.